Welcome back. So in this lesson, we're going to be adding a mouth hole with our thumb measurement. So we know that our thumb measurement is 22 millimeters. Yours may be a little larger, a little smaller. Who knows? But that's not important. What we need to do now is go ahead and save another version. So we'll do save as, and let's just call this Doghead Poop Dispenser D3 for the third draft, just in case we need to come back. So first thing we want to do is just jump into see-through mode, and the head is looking pretty good, but it's a little too large, I think. And if the jaw, extrudes out this way, then we're going to need some support material around here to support it. So I'm going to kind of shrink the head and rotate it a little bit just to kind of make it a little bit more 3D print friendly. So to do that, just click on the dog head. And since the photos are linked, as we rotate, it will rotate the photos as well. So we can kind of resize that, maybe even scale it down a little bit. Grab it here. I'm kind of trying to get the top of the head right there, and then enough space kind of in here to where we can grab this top corner of the roll. So that's looking pretty good. May have to bring it up just a little bit. And we may have to adjust the ears, but that's okay. So now we've got our photos staying with it. Our scale is kind of out of whack. So we'll just do Control A and apply scale. And now everything's back to 1, which will help when we're adding, just for our solidify and everything. That'll keep everything nice and even. So for now, we need to kind of rearrange the neck here that we've kind of messed up. So let's just tab on over and maybe just grab all of these little dots, and I'm just in see-through mode, and let's put our 3D cursor kind of right in here, and we can tell it to rotate around the cursor. We'll turn proportional editing on, and then just rotate that ever so slightly, just kind of straighten it up a little bit, and we'll maybe even scale it up a little bit and move it down. Kind of roll around with that. So we may need to do some adjustments on our dog design here. Maybe somewhere in there, maybe just grab these, and I'll just bring these on down. So now we've got nice little clearance here, a steeper angle there, and maybe need to just bring down just a little bit just to fit our bottom of our bag. Maybe even scale it up a little bit. There we go. That's looking better. So now we can just kind of morph these around as we need to. Maybe grab this one, hit GG, slide it down, GG, and just kind of space these out a little bit. Maybe scale this one in. So now we've got the head kind of looking more up. Maybe need to adjust the ears a little bit. Maybe even just rotate those around the 3D cursor. Just bring them a little bit more sharp, somewhere in there. And so it's going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And now everything's a little bit more steep. We may have to adjust these here, but we can always do that more in sculpting. But really just kind of getting everything more at an upward angle so we can bring in this jaw here. So let's bring in the jaw. So I'm just going to go to face mode, grab this here. And let's use our old friend, extrude to cursor. So you just click and hold. Click here and make sure you're in side view, and we're just going to kind of follow the mouth there, something like that. Just kind of a nice little curve, and then you want to click out of it. That way you can kind of start moving around, and we need to make this a little smaller. If I go into object mode, we've got a nice like Pez dispenser mouth, so we may need to make that just a little skinnier. So we'll do Control Plus and just turn off our proportional editing and scale on the X axis. I'm just kind of bring that jaw in a little bit. It's looking a little better. Maybe even do this loop here. Scale on the X and just kind of bring that in. Yeah, there we go. So that's looking better. And now what we want to do is take our thumb measurement right here, 22, and bring that into our design. So I'm going to put something somewhere around in here, and we'll do, make sure you're in object mode, and you can shift click. We want to kind of make a thumb space right here. We're going to make an object right there. So we'll do So just shift right click to bring your 3D cursor and then do shift A to add a UV sphere. And it's super tiny right there, but just go ahead and crank it up. We know we need it to be 22. So for the diameter, so we'll just divide it by 2. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. And there's our thumb. So our thumb needs to be a little centered up. Let's just zero out the X there. That's better. And you can see it's kind of coming out of the bottom of the mouth here. So we'll just go into edit mode on the thumb and do scale on the Z and kind of just make it more of a kind of a squished sphere. And now we can go into object mode, rotate it a little bit, and just kind of fit it into the mouth right there. And if we go back to object mode and turn off our see-through. So now we've got our little thumb cut out here. So just click on the thumb. We can even rename it. And you can see I can't find the object here, but if you look in the layers, we've got this kind of triangle glowing right here. So it's probably inside of there. And there it is, the sphere. So just move that down to our flexible design and we can call that the thumb. And so make sure you have the thumb, shift click on the head and do Control minus, and that will try to subtract it, but we need to rearrange. The bull tool needs to be before the mirror. So we'll just swivel that up there and that looks better, but it could be even, it's kind of like a nice thick, layer or rim or edge, kind of interior edge there. But if we bring it up above solidify, it will tighten it up a little bit more. So something like that. But again, it looks okay, but I think it could look a little bit better. So let's just click on the thumb and then go into edit mode. And we can make any adjustments we need. Like maybe we want to scale on the X, maybe widen it out a little bit. And it's coming from the 3D cursor, so we'll just turn that off. Just do active element and do scale on the X and just kind of widen it out. Tab back over. That looks better. Maybe even scale up the top here. So we'll just take this here. I'm just kind of got part of the sphere selected. This one little half here. Go into side view and we can scale on the local axis. That way it'll go up and down this way. And maybe do proportional editing, scale on the Z. And looky there, so we can kind of match the curve, move it around if we need to. Yeah. And it's giving us a little kind of doggy little dip lip there, which is nice. So that's looking pretty good. So we'll go to the side, maybe go back into object view, and notice that's not too bad. And again, you can always adjust this and move it however you need to. But for that, I'm pretty happy. And we'll go ahead and parent it to the dog. So just click on the thumb, shift click on the head, and do Control P and set to the object. And that will link those together. And notice down here, we've also need to kind of widen our neck out. So let's go to the front view, maybe go into edit mode of the head here. Grab some of these points. Maybe we can go to see-through mode to really see what we're grabbing. And we'll just hit G and X and just kind of widen that out a little bit. And there we go. So that's looking better. Maybe a little bit more here. G and X. Just going to really widen it out. That looks better. And maybe even here, G and X. And so there we go. We got a kind of base head and mouth for our design here. And so in the next lesson, we're going to make some interesting little leash clips right back here.